Before the season started, I made a video listing off 7 bold predictions for the 2021-22 NHL season, and with us now being like 45% of the way through in most teams' cases, I figured it would be fun to take a look back at those bold predictions and see how they're looking now, almost halfway into the season. Now, I also made a video before the season started reacting to your guys' bold predictions, so if that's something you want me to look back at and see how those are looking now, then leave this video a like and let me know down in the comments that's something you'd want to see. Now, spoiler alert, a lot of the predictions we're going to be looking back on in this video, let's just say they're not looking so hot. So before you go down to the comment section and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 these are meant to be bold predictions. We're just having some fun here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. The first bold prediction I made in that video was Sidney Crosby finishes the 2021-22 season under a point per game for the very first time in his career. Basically, my logic when making this prediction, back when I made the video, was Sidney Crosby got hand surgery in the offseason and he wasn't going to be able to get into any preseason action. He obviously missed a couple of weeks to start the regular season. You combine that with the fact that, well, he's 34 years old, and also I didn't think the Penguins were going to be as good as they have been. And early in the season, when Crosby first came back from the hand surgery, this prediction wasn't looking too bad. I think he only had like 2 points in his first 7 games or something like that. But obviously, looking at Sidney Crosby now, he was able to overcome that slow start to the season, and he's already a point per game player. He's got 24 points in 24 games, and I am not confident in this prediction coming true whatsoever anymore. The Penguins are buzzing. Crosby is still one of the absolute best players on the planet, and they just got Malkin back, who had, I think, 3 points in his first game, so fun times in Pittsburgh right now. This next bold prediction I made is a pretty big yikes. I said that the Philadelphia Flyers were going to go from missing the playoffs in 2021 to winning the Metro Division in 2022, and not only are the Philadelphia Flyers almost certainly not winning the Metro Division, there's a very, very high chance that they don't even make the playoffs this year. This is one of those where you just chalk it up to me being completely wrong about this team. On paper, heading into the season, I really liked the look of their roster. I loved the addition of Ryan Ellis. Wasn't too crazy about the Voracek for Atkinson trade or the Ristolainen trade, but I still thought they had a really good team. Things really just haven't clicked in Philadelphia this season. They've gotten better goaltending than last season, which was one of the reasons why they were so poor last season, but their defense still just completely stinks, and obviously Ryan Ellis only playing 4 games up until this point can't help that case. I'm not going to use that as an excuse though, because every team in the NHL has had very important players miss a good chunk of games this season, so I'm just going to chalk this one up to me being completely wrong, and it appears as though the Philadelphia Flyers streak of making the playoffs one year, missing the next, and then making it and just going back and forth is going to end this season, because if they don't turn things around, this will be their second consecutive season missing the playoffs. This next bold prediction I made just makes me really sad to look back at. Every year I do this video and I always try to have at least one Red Wings bold prediction in the video, and in this year's case, my Red Wings prediction was that Jacob Vrana would score 40 goals.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
And well, obviously, Jacob Vrana hasn't even played a single game yet. He injured his shoulder in the very first day he attended training camp and had to get shoulder surgery. And luckily for Red Wings fans, we actually are getting pretty close to a Jacob Vrana return. I saw a video of him a couple of days ago actually skating, which was nice to see. And man, can Vrana's return not come soon enough. This team was offensively challenged to begin with, but especially lately, they just cannot generate anything offensively, and when they do, they can't finish. The power play looks just as bad as it did last season. I'm really looking forward to watching Jacob Vrana play again, and I guess we'll just have to move this bold prediction to next season, because obviously he's not going to score 40 goals this year in half a season. Now, this next bold prediction is by far the one that has the highest chance of coming true, I feel like, and it's looking like it actually may, and that bold prediction was the LA Kings make the playoffs in 2022. Right now, the Kings are actually occupying a playoff spot. They currently sit 3rd place in the Pacific Division, 19-13-5, 43 points, and with the way that the rest of the Pacific Division is looking behind the Los Angeles Kings right now, honestly, I don't think it's too crazy to think that the Kings could keep this spot for the remainder of the season, and even if a team like the Calgary Flames heat up and pass them in the standings, I still think the Kings could get in a wildcard spot. I feel like it all really comes down to what happens with the Oilers. Are they going to heat up? Are they going to turn their season around? If they do, then I don't think the Kings get in in because I feel like Calgary is ultimately going to end up passing them, but I mean, who knows? It's definitely shaping up to be a pretty exciting playoff race in the Pacific Division and just the Western Conference in general. Even if the Kings don't make the playoffs, they're likely still going to be very close come season's end. So no matter what, if the Kings get into the playoffs or if they just miss by a couple of points, this is one of the bold predictions that I can actually feel pretty good about. The next bold prediction that I made was that Connor McDavid does not win the Art Ross Trophy this season, and I remember when I uploaded the video I had some people saying, well, that's not a bold prediction, you're predicting one player not to lead the league in scoring. And well, what do you know, looking at the scoring race today, Connor McDavid is at the top, actually tied with Leon Draisaitl. They each have 53 points. I feel like Draisaitl is the only real competition for Connor McDavid when it comes to the Art Ross Trophy this season. Well, actually, Nazem Kadri may have something to say about that, who has 48 points in 30 games and is apparently not an all-star. He has to be voted in as the last man, so he might not even get in. That should tell you everything you need to know about the NHL's current all-star format. But anyways, that's beside the point. If there's a confidence meter when it came to this bold prediction, I'm probably sitting at like a 2 out of 10 right now. McDavid is just not human. He's probably going to lead the league in scoring. Okay, this next bold prediction might actually be a bigger yikes than the one about the Philadelphia Flyers winning the division. This one was Alexis Lafreniere is a point-a-game player in the 2021-22 season. I mean, this one was a long shot to begin with. I think the reasoning I gave in the video as to why I made this bold prediction was this season he's actually going to have a full training camp, a full preseason as well to kind of gear up and get ready for the regular season. And well, this season he's kind of just scoring at about the same pace that he did last season. I will say, aside from the points though, his overall game this year does look a little bit better. I feel like he's more noticeable when he's on the ice this season. And if he continues to play this way and if he continues to develop and get better, which I fully expect him to, the points are obviously going to come. I just jumped the gun on this one a little bit, probably a couple seasons too early here. And now the final bold prediction that I made heading into this season was that Spencer Knight, a goaltender of the Florida Panthers, wins the Calder Trophy as NHL's Rookie of the Year. And I actually feel like at the time I made this video originally that this prediction was like the least bold of all the predictions in the video, because depending on who you asked, I mean, most people had Spencer Knight as like a top 5, top 7 favorite for the Calder Trophy heading into the season. I don't think anybody really expected him, to be sent down to the American Hockey League, and even in the one game he played down there, I think he got lit up for like 4 or 5 goals. At this point, it's safe to say Spencer Knight is 100% not winning the Calder Trophy this season. However, he has only played 14 games. Depending on how the rest of the season goes, he may still be eligible to win the Calder next season. So that is going to wrap up today's video, taking a look back at the bold predictions I made for this season and how they're looking about 45% of the way through. Let me know down below in the comments section if you made bold predictions heading into the season and how they're looking so far. Do you have any that are looking really good, any that are looking really bad, like my Spencer Knight for the Calder or Flyers to win the Metro Division picks? And while you're down there, you might as well leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. And if this was your first time checking out the channel and you want more NHL content just like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you all soon.